Hey traders, happy Monday. It is July 1st. This is Chris Pulver here with Market Traders Institute coming at you with a weekly outlook. The week is July 1 through July 4. We have some important news. We have a holiday sprinkled in. We had a pretty exciting gap over the weekend with the G20. Looks like the US and China are trying to put some things aside and start fresh with no escalation. The market seems to like it, but there's a lot of signs pointing towards a we'll see about this, and maybe it's not exactly what it's all cracked up to be. So I'll show you in the charts here in just a moment. So let's go ahead and dive into the economic calendar and the charts, and let's get ready for this week. So calendar-wise this week, what is really important, and it seems like things are trying to get priced in here, but take a look at the RBA. That's the Reserve Bank of Australia. We have a rate decision at 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time, which is just after midnight. That will actually be Tuesday's trading day. That's all day Tuesday's trading day. See what the London session does. We might have some inefficiencies, but they are expected to cut rates once again from 1.5 to 1.25, now 1.25 down to 1.0. So that would make 2 cuts for the year. Of course, it'll be interesting to see if they do cut rates, and if so, does the RBNZ follow suit? Is the RBA trying to tell us something that the markets are not? Is this something that the Fed is going to lean into in the next 2 to 3 months? There is roughly a 75 to 80% chance that the Fed is going to cut rates in some capacity before September's FOMC meeting. Of course, price doesn't seem to be pricing that in. However, it looks like the Aussie has had a good return, right? I mean, we had Aussie yen turn from the lows, Aussie Swiss turn from the lows. Aussie CAD was holding the bottoms. Aussie New Zealand is stable. Aussie dollars come all the way back to 7,000. So we've actually seen a decent move as the last couple of weeks. But again, looking to cut rates here overall tonight. This is Tuesday night. Other news, we go into a bank holiday on Thursday. That's July 4th. But we kick things off July 5th with a non-farm combination, non-farm payroll, and CAD employment on Friday at 8:30 a.m. I'll actually be hosting a major market mover session at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. And make sure you check your respective class documents or look for the email and the online university for that link, and I'll see you all Friday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. So let's take a look at the charts. Here is the dollar yen. We broke the channel. We'll come back to this one. Let me just go through alphabetical order. So let's talk about the SPY. So this is the SPY or the SPY, and we just had a gap higher on the weekend's open. So Monday's candle to start things off for the week has been a bullish movement, but take a look at this. This is my momentum oscillator. Very noticeable disagreement with this high and this high. So that price, that momentum, not in agreement. We still have the relative strength, very close to being overbought. It's not quite there, but take a look at the technical formation. You know, we have all of these things that need to happen to keep the stock market going. Now, what's interesting is you see that we have the stock market super high off of a massive 10-year run. We also have the 10-year note, or the TNX, off of a major low. So I am expecting some type of reversion to the mean between the 10-year note and the stock market, and so I'm starting to look at some inverse ETFs like SPXS and XPXU and things that are, you know, either single, double, or triple weighted, that if I buy those instruments, I am looking for the SPY to fall. So just based on this weekly chart, I realize that it is July. We probably are just starting off Q3. This might go all the way into August, September. But why did I put this here? This is a broadening formation. I am seeing a lot of opportunity to sell high and take this down lower, at least to a intermediate level. Even if it's not going to drop all the way down to this broadening formation support, I still think we can drop with this, melt up from December to January, shallow pullback and a higher high. How many times have we seen the market go up, pull back, go up again, and then fall back into the AB boundary? I think that would be the case here, is we have this bull trap where we have overbought and divergent conditions that sells back off into this area around 270. So that is a pretty big drop. If we drop from roughly 295 to 270, that's a 10+% correction to the downside. And if you're trading an inverse ETFs that is double, triple weighted, you can do the math. That's a pretty good return on one instrument. So how does this translate into currency pairs? Well, take a look at the dollar yen, and you can see that we've had this corrective channel. We are on the right side of this channel. What I'm hoping to see is just a really clean formation. Left shoulder perhaps, head to neckline. If we consolidate a bit longer, we would look for a break out to the upside. That would be a nice clean head and shoulders to trade bullish. If I'm looking at all this stock market chaos, then it could come back down to a double bottom. It might come all the way back down into this flash crash low from January. But again, we'll look and see what the formation is. I have not done anything with the dollar yen, but we're on the right-hand side of the trend line, so I'll be watching this currency pair. This week, we've just been taking some simple trades. You know, momentum breakout students, my flex trading room, we were long on the CAD yen, long on the euro yen, long on the New Zealand yen, just following the sentiment strength line. And it's, you know, bullish here on the dollar yen, bullish on other pairs. So we just followed the U-turn, took a few pips. Collectively, you know, CAD yen was 147, New Zealand yen was close to 200. Swiss yen was a little sell trade on the range at 25 or 30 pips. Euro yen was almost 100 pips. So just some really simple U-turns. And now just kind of waiting to see what happens next. Interesting to see that the dollar yen daily, this is a nice harmonic pattern, should be going up a little bit higher towards 108 to 110. Anyway, I mean, breaking the channel, here's what I'm looking to do on dollar yen. If we come up into this area, we could have a pullback and to fill the gap. We can look to trade that gap and go higher. As I said earlier, we might just go sideways and have this be a range where, just like we had at 112, we had some indecision. This might be another level from roughly 108.70 to 108.00 that if it breaks higher, we trade north. If it breaks bearish, we trade south, and we just look to see if we can take out some of these lows or come back and find some of these highs. So this could just be more summer trading here on the dollar yen. I'll be watching price action accordingly, and how does that translate into other yen pairs. As far as the dollar goes, here's the dollar index at 12,288. You can see a pretty big bullish move on the dollar. Just refuses to break any major lows, and that's fine. You know, look, we've got resistance right here. We have support right here. It's clearly noisy. In fact, this might be even the easier trade is just to ignore it right now or try to scalp, I guess, on the dollar pairs. But look at this from the weekly chart. If you look at the weekly candle, have we broken out? Have we broken this support? You can see the indecision. Have we broken this resistance? You can see the indecision. So let's just keep this really simple. Go to a higher time frame. If the weekly candle closes higher, closes lower, that's the direction. But I have a feeling that over the next, you know, maybe 4 weeks or 6 weeks, we're probably going to stay inside this range. And if the market is trying to price in a rate cut from the Fed, or they're going to come in and just swing with a rate cut or cut by 25, 50 basis points by August or September, then we're going to see a bearish move in the dollar. It just hasn't quite confirmed yet. But watch this weekly chart closely. Most traders aren't watching the weekly chart, but most market movers are. So let's watch this level closely. Oil's been all over the place. We're straight up towards $60 again. Gold and silver. Watch for actually gold to be supported at $13.65. Let's see if silver can stay above $15. Let's go into some currency pairs. We do have a potential rate cut coming on the Aussie, so watching pairs like Aussie CAD. What happens at the lows? If the Aussie CAD ends up, you know, snapping down to these lows, look for this to come right back up and form a bottom. We might have a very sharp bottom and a reversal. Even if they cut rates, there might still be a very big inefficiency to trade, and I'm going to be looking for opportunities to kind of fade the move. So if it's a really strong, you know, bearish movement, I'll probably end up, you know, buying that very quickly for a short-term profit, and maybe that signals some type of top or bottom that I can stay with and try to go to break even. I'm currently holding Aussie Swiss long, trying to get to 70, actually 7,000 or 70.50. I'm currently also holding Aussie New Zealand long and trying to take that up for a big trade up towards 108 or 110. Aussie dollar, you know, hit just above 7,000, has pulled back on the dollar strength. CAD Swiss still looking good to hold towards 7,600. CAD yen, protect your profits. Anything with yen pairs, if you've been in those sentiment strength line U-turns, protect your profits. Euro Aussie, I protected profits as well below 6,200. Euro CAD, I'm actually looking to buy it at 4,800 and take that back to the north. Euro Swiss, I'm currently long. Euro Pound, I'm waiting for a U-turn. We're getting a little bit more action today. Here's 89.26. We should be about 40 to 50 pips off of the high today. So let me go to the daily candle here on the Euro Pound. So that's a decent move to the downside. This high here, 89.75, we're selling off about 50 pips. Again, channel-wise, we're up, broke the channel, come back and retest the high, and we're making our way lower. I would love to see, for the first time in a long time, this pair come back down, score a point, pull back, and go lower. See if we can find some profits here around 87.50 or 87.35 on the old Euro Pound. Euro New Zealand, I protected profit at 7,000 from a sell trade at 71.95, so I'm looking for a re-entry there. This was illustrated in my flex trading this morning. We scored a point here for the bears. Look for any type of pause or pullback towards 7,100 and look for a selling opportunity to stay bearish. Euro dollar. I traded this with the levels. This was actually in the weekly outlook last week. This is a very important close to the downside. Now, more than likely, for any bears, you're loving this move because this is more opportunity to short right back into previous lows, right back into previous lows. So if anybody faded this move, you're loving it. If you're not quite sure what to do, sellers have an opportunity to sell with stop above and take it down to previous lows. Buyers, I'm actually interested in the buy trade. I do have a buy trade there that's very small and another buy trade here that's very small. So this is 1, this is 2. I just think we're going to go sideways. So the more we go sideways, the longer we wait for the right-hand side of this trend line to form lows. I do think this is going to be an ultimate bullish trade to the upside once the dollar starts to get that momentum where the dollar has to drop bearish and the euro dollar ends up going bullish as a result. So I'm just looking to level in with some small buy trades for now. Because it's been a pretty aggressive move to the downside, I think we're leaving some trails here where even if this goes straight down, I will probably end up trading this right back into this area right there. So if it drops down towards, 1,200 or 1,100, then this is going to be my target to come back towards 1,300 or higher. So I'm just going to take some small buy trades. Pound Aussie, I'm looking for an opportunity to sell. So I'm watching. We had a pretty decent kind of triple bottom over here in the short term. We might come back up towards 8,200 or so. I still have interest to sell this currency pair. Actually, this might come back deeper than I thought right here. I want it to come back up here. If we go from this low coming back up into 8,400, I'd like to sell it from there. In the short term, we're probably going to stay bullish on this Pound Aussie. Pound CAD's also coming in off the lows. I bought it at 66.25. Trying to stay, patient on this one. We might end up going a smidge lower. Just look at the bigger time frames. So this blue line, major support, all the way down here, 6,000, incredible support. I doubt it's going to fall that aggressively without some type of pullback. So in the short term, I'm looking for this pound CAD to get back towards 7,000 or 7,100, and I'm currently holding a couple small positions here, 69.25 and 66.55. And all I'm really looking for confirmation to add is a nice solid U-turn on my sentiment strength line. It continues to stay bearish on the six-figure max. We have a nice daily harmonic that's still valid on the daily chart with Precision Trader, still in a sell zone, but a good bar count on the right trader charts as well. So a lot of things are pointing towards some bottoms to form. Like I said, 7,000 or 7,100 should be a nice target there for the buyers at some bargain prices. Pound Swiss, if we can see the Euro Pound U-turn bearish, then we should see this U-turn bullish. And another very strong bar count. There's your bullish U-turn starting to get underway. I do have some positions running, and we should be able to get back towards 2,700 or higher. And I'll start taking some profit on the Pound Swiss. Pound Yen, leave that one alone. Pound New Zealand, looking for another opportunity to sell. The New Zealand's been a little bit stronger, but all I'm looking for is this. Either high, low, pullback. We want to come back into equal highs that we can sell, or look for a smaller, shallow pullback, like this high-low, pullback again, lower high, lower low. Look for a trend line break there. So ideally, we look to sell it here, but just see if we can get a nice channel or trend line to sell it. So just going to patiently wait on that. We took the sell trades way up here at 97.50, and I know some traders actually took it at 2,000, which was awesome. Pound, let's see, dollar. I'm currently long in the pound dollar with a very small swing trade at 26.50. That was filled last week. And I'm just going to hang on to that and see if this pattern holds. This is a nice looking crown. Left tip, center tip, right tip. If we can get a nice little push to the upside, 28.50 to 1.30. Looking to take some profit on the pound dollar. Stop loss is going to be below the swing, below 2,500. New Zealand CAD, leaving that alone. New Zealand Swiss, I'm currently holding long, trying to get to 66.50 or higher. So any pullback here, I'm looking just to hold it. If you're looking to re-enter, keep it simple. So low, high, pullback, push for a higher high, 66.50 or higher. It's a nice chunk for some profit. New Zealand yen, protect your profit. New Zealand dollar, I did protect some profit just around 6,700, which I'm happy that I did. We had a great entry here at 64.99, went all the way up for 9 daily candles in a row. Thought it was a good one just to make sure I protected, so I did. Ended up grabbing about 200 pips there. I still think this is bullish. It's just where does it settle? Shallow pullback, then goes up one more time. Look for a nice little channel or trend line break. Look for momentum U-turns. Look for systems that give you bullishness. But I'd like to stay, bullish on this one in the shorter term. Dollar CAD, we have a nice little retracement off of 3,100. We did expect this to happen coming into channel support. It wouldn't surprise me at all if this starts forming some bottoms and getting on the right-hand side of the trend line and going back up towards 3,300. I'm probably just going to leave the dollar CAD alone. I did have some really good profit in there. I took some profit in here. I didn't hold on to it nearly as long as I wanted to, but that's okay. I can always come back and trade this one again. Dollar Swiss, not much to do on this one for now. We had a nice return to the upside. Look at that big move on the day. Wow. So we gapped higher. We're running higher. We'll see what this one does. If the dollar comes in and softens up, then we should be able to head back lower. I would actually like to see this, aggressively rally, stall over here, come back to the backside of the trend line or double bottoms, and then take this longer. I just like to buy the dollar Swiss because it's a big carry opportunity. 2.5% for the dollar and negative 0.75 for the Swiss. It's a really nice rollover trade. And if I buy it nice and low, and I buy it again nice and low, and we do come back up towards parity or higher, we can have positive rollover and positive pips. So that's a long-term trade. Dollar yen, like I said, look for something on the backside of the trend line, or it could be that longer head and shoulders where we use roughly 108.75 or 109 as a neckline. Dollar peso, we're at 9.12. A lot of indecision here. I hope that this can find a couple of levels. One is I hope we find a way to get out of this funky consolidation and go up one more time to 19.5. I would honestly like to see it go much higher than that. Now, I won't necessarily buy the dollar peso, but if it does get some type of rally like so, I will then be waiting to sell nice and high around like 20.4 or 20.6. So there should be some big opportunities on the peso, I hope, for the rest of the year. It's been extremely low volatility for the most part compared to most years. I usually see a lot more opportunity on the peso than what we had so far this year. But the good thing is we have been patient, we haven't been forcing trades, and we'll see what the next big alignment is. I hope it's something like this, that we can either enjoy some trending and then sell it really high, or we just have this thing just really, really low, wedging, and then we get the explosive move to the upside that we can buy nice and low. But either way, we should have a trade there on the peso coming up. And that will do it. So watching oil, watching the dollar, you see again, the fake out on the dollar, watch the euro dollar. You're either a seller or a buyer. It's still range trading. It's just the start of Q3. We've got some new monthly pivots. But again, it's summertime. We're going to see some ranges. We're going to have some pivots getting hit. We'll see how the market's going to digest things this week with Aussie. If they cut rates, okay, let's see how price reacts. Let's see what happens on Friday with data. And if the market continues to try to price in something for the dollar, it hasn't happened yet. So patience, but I am watching the SPY, I'm watching the inverse ETFs, I'm watching the volatility index, I'm watching the 10-year notes. I'm watching a lot of things because I think August and September is going to come out swinging with a lot of volatility. So we've got about 1 month to prepare mentally, and then I think our best bet is going to be following our sentiment strength line and direction and momentum when it comes to August and September, and see how that sets the tone for the rest of the year. So that's it for me, traders. Happy Monday. I'll see you all Flex Trading Room on Wednesday. I'll see you in the Perfect Storm tomorrow. That's Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That is just going to be a 2-hour session, not a 4-hour session. So I'll see you for the Perfect Storm on Tuesday. Wednesday for the Flex Trading Room. Thursday, no classes because of July 4th. And Friday, we'll be back at it for a non-farm session and Flex to wrap things up for the week. So if you have any questions, email me, cpulver@markettraders.com. Hope you all had a great weekend, and let's have a good week trading. Talk to you soon.